All right, welcome back to another Assembly Experts build. In today's video, we're going to be putting together a Sojag and or Porto 10 by 10 gazebo. That's a metal frame gazebo. It goes up relatively well, especially if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you're looking at a few hour build. As long as you do all the steps right and you pay attention to what's going on in this video, you'll be all right. So before I even show you what's up, I'm gonna just let you know what you're gonna need. So you're gonna need yourself a drill, two drills. 12 volts should just be good enough. Don't need anything overpowered. You don't want to be breaking screws because they do break. They do break. So you're gonna need two drills, 12 volt, a full set of Allen bits, two sets. I tell you the exact sizes, but to be honest, I don't know. I go by look. I look at the bit. I look at the screw. It works perfect. I've been doing it for like 11, 12 years building. So some of these things slip my mind now because it's just like, what's the point? I could just look at the screw and I can tell what bit I need. So you're gonna need a full set of Allen bits. You're gonna need 2 to 3 4-foot ladders. I would first of all, don't take on this kind of project on your own. Okay, we're not heroes. We're not trying to do that kind of stuff out here. We don't need to do that kind of stuff out here. So you're gonna do it you're gonna do it 2 to 3 people. Get a friend, get your girlfriend, get your boyfriend, get a neighbor, whatever. Don't take this project on your own. It'll be miserable. You're gonna hate your life. You're gonna hate everybody around you. Just don't do it. Not recommended. Take it from the professional. Okay. So just to reiterate the list, you're gonna need a 12 volt drill, 2 of them, full set of Allen bits, 2 4-foot ladders. And honestly, that should be it. Make sure you have your battery chargers left off to the side because if the job does kind of drag out, you want to make sure you have charged batteries because we're not doing none of this. We're not doing no screen, no hand crank. We're not doing none of that, okay? None of it. Excuse me. So, with that being said, let me go find the video here. I should have already had it up for you guys, but it's all good. So let me just get this ready. Oop, 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 oop. Wait a sec. Hold on a minute, guys. Bang. All right. Good to go. So here we are, just finishing off the intro here. This job here, we did it with, I believe, 4 people. No. It was not 4 people. This was a big day. So we had, I believe, 5 people working. We had other jobs to get to, and this is our company. So we're going to be working with more hands than you would be. So we had 5 people running here. Right, you have me. We have the gentleman over here, my business partner and brother. Got my nephew there, flexing, trying to look like a tough guy. And then we got my nephew's best friend, Shane, and then my other brother will also be showing up. So we start off with, let's just speed this up a little bit. Let's go a little bit faster. Times it by 8. So we're first going to start off cracking open the boxes. Slow it down just a little bit. Too fast. Open all the boxes, lay all our pieces out, put all the like pieces with like pieces, just to keep organized. Organization, it will be key with this kind of work and this kind of build. Whether you're a professional, an amateur, or just someone building the gazebo themselves, first thing you want to start off is with organizing your pieces. Trust me, you're going to want to do this. You don't want your stuff just out and you have to scour through everything when you're looking for it. So you see Shane here, the tall fellow who's in the right there, him. You're going to see once he's done laying out all the pieces with us, he's going to go over to the roof and he's going to start putting on these clips. But everybody's got their job. That's one thing too. Everybody's got their task. When we're doing what we do, we all have already learned what we need to do and how to do it. So you're not going to see us open up the instructions, right? So if you look over, slow us down just a little bit, you'll see me here. I'm now prepping the frame. This is the upper frame that attaches to the legs, which then attaches to the roof. First thing I do is I prep those. Then you see my brother and business partner over there. Hopefully you guys can see my mouse. Brother and business partner over there is prepping the legs for the gazebo. Once he's done that, that will come my way, and then I will proceed to attaching the legs to the frame, which is above the legs, which then attaches to the roof, right? And then we have Jabril over here. He's prepping what's called the roof supports. These go in between the roof arms that attach to the center, which then allow you to place your roof panels on top of the roof supports. Now, it's not absolutely necessary to have those to put the roof on. It really does make your job a lot easier though to have the roof supports there. So if they're not quite prepped just yet, it's okay, but you want them prepped. So Get someone over there, prep everything, right? And pause this real quick, just make sure so you guys understand this. Prep everything before you even start trying to tie things together. See how my frame's all done there, right? It's all complete. Prep that first. Prep it. See Jeff over there prepping those legs. Prep the legs, right? See how Jabril did the roof supports. Prep the roof supports. See how Shane was over there prepping the roof, putting the clips on. There should be a way for me to like zoom in or something, but you'll see that right here, right there is where the roof clip is. Prep those two. Get anything that you can prep. So when you're ready to go grab it, you don't have to go and do it. This is very important too. We do this kind of method almost on every build. Doesn't matter what we're building. We stage our stuff. Right? If I'm building, let's say, a dresser, right? If I got a dresser, I put all my drawer pieces over there. Fronts, sides, back, bottom of the drawer, rails, there. Everything for the frame going from the outside to the inside of the dresser over here. Build the dresser frame. Build the drawer frame. Same thing happens with gazebos. Same thing happens with pergolas. Same thing happens with solariums. This is something we're going to do for every time we build. You're always going to stage your pieces, make sure everything is ready to go and prepped. Right? So let's continue. Okay. So I'm just gonna speed this back up until the next part comes here. So now I got my leg. Slow it down. I'm actually gonna pause it. This is a technique I use for every gazebo. I'm gonna say that this is my technique. Okay. I haven't seen anybody else build a gazebo like this, and it's very good, especially if you want to be efficient and not have to have too many hands on the product. So how it goes up, you have one leg, right? You attach to the frame. Grab the other side, attach that side. We're almost standing up now, right? Grab the other leg, attach that side. Boom. Look at that, right? Lickety split. Look how quickly that was done. So we start with the other sides to finish. Big important part with this is that when you're doing it this method, there's one thing you have to pay attention to, and I would, if you're doing your own build, you're an amateur, or you're looking to get into the assembly game, or you want to buy even into our franchise, a method that we do is always this, right? But you have to pay attention to this leg, the very first leg. You really have to pay attention to, because if you lift up this frame, I'll bring it back just for a second. If you lift up the frame when you're coming up this piece, if you lean too much to one side, the leg will tip over. You know what I mean? So when you're raising it, you want it to like perfectly, essentially. Open up. Yeah, exactly. Just like that. You want it to raise. Like you're lifting the frame up, boom, just like that. Now you don't want to lift and tilt, because then the whole thing falls over. Now you're looking at damages. So for the first few times, have someone at the leg just watching it, just to make sure you're not lifting it within the danger zone, right? Where you're pushing the leg over. You don't want to do that. Right? Lift it, boom. Put in a screw. I secure it. I put the 2 screws in. Make sure it's nice and tight. Adjust. Make sure I have enough space so everybody can work. While I'm doing this, you'll see that Jabril and a variety of other guys, Mohammed, Shane, Jeff, will come in and start filling in the inside pieces, the curtain rails, the roof supports. You have the leg supports that go from the leg to the frame. My job is to put up the main body. That's what I do. I do the main body. Yeah, there. See how I did that there? Pay attention to what I do here right by the leg. See, I put the 2 screws in. Boom. And slow it down for a moment there so you can catch some more details. There's Jabril going along, attaching all his pieces. Now what I would recommend is, to improve what he's doing a little bit more, is for him to bring all these pieces in the area closer by, because it seems like he has it somewhere off camera. So he should have that a little bit closer to be a little more efficient. But then there goes Shay. Now he's putting up the curtain rails. That's where the curtain piece is going, obviously. Jeff is now putting up the supports. Very important, by the way. These supports must be on before you go to the roof. These guys right here. Right there. Don't skip that. Because what will happen if you don't have this in before the frame is fully built, the roof will not be straight. It's a guarantee. It makes it really wobbly. And you can still tighten everything in, and you think it's going to be good. But then when you go up to put up that roof, it's like, why are all the holes all mishmashy? So, important thing to do is make sure that before you go too far on the roof, that these are in. Like, even if it's just 2 opposing corners, right? Even that. But make sure that they're They're in the two opposing corners are all in, preferably all in. You know. So there I am. I put my posts up. These are really easy to put in. Bring it back for a second. Sorry, guys. A note about this here, very important, is that when you're putting these in, there'll be some bigger gazebos where it's just the metal grommets in it, and these cannot hold the weight of the roof arm here. Cannot hold it. So the only time you can actually put these in are when they're, you could do it every time, to be honest. Sometimes you can't, but most times you can. There's a metal plate that goes in between the two frame pieces that allows you to join a 10 by 10 side or 12 by 12 side. That roof piece here, right there, you're screwing that into the metal plate that allows you to join the two pieces together. So it has a good holding capacity. So you don't have to worry about this falling. Now, when you're building a cheaper model, if it's cheaper, you want to pay attention to the arm. Because if the metal is weak, this will bend and the screws will stay fine, but this will start to droop and sag, which you don't want this piece breaking. If this breaks, you're kind of screwed, you know, to be totally honest. If that breaks, it's like, well, you have to go order a new part. You're coming back several days later. Or if you're just a regular customer or regular person who's just building it on their own, well, then you got to go through the process of having to get a replacement piece for it. And that's just annoying, right? So make sure that the piece that you're screwing this into is nice and solid and not just free floating grommets, because it will not hold it. All right, guys? It will not hold. So let's increase that speed a little bit. I'm going to go around, attach all four pieces. Once that's done, I'm going to come and put in the roof cap, right? As these guys are still filling all the stuff, here's Mohammed there putting in the curtains, the curtain like catchers. I don't know what you call those, curtain catchers, curtain clips. All right. Now that I'm done there, I'm going to move on to the corners for the roof. Just one by one. Nothing too difficult about that. They can be a little heavy, so maybe you sometimes want to grab an extra hand or not, but sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So, and we're just zooming along here. Actually, things are looking pretty good, but I know the video sped up, guys. But with five guys, we finished this in about 35 minutes, 45 minutes, especially on a good day where it's not too hot outside. Next up, this is a technique I actually really like. Let me see if I'll slow it down for you. I'll slow it down for you guys so you guys can catch that. Oops, pushed the wrong button there. Sorry. So you'll see that what I do is that I'll take the roof. This only really works for the second roof, the upper roof for this piece, the top part. So what you do is you take your roof panels, you slide it into the frame, and then you just go up with the whole thing and push it in. Okay, so I'm going to slow that down so you guys can catch that. Bring that down to 1 speed, eh? Yeah, 1 speed is good. See that? I have the whole thing up there, right? Whole thing's in there, and I put the whole thing up. Beautiful. Bring it back one more time. Catch that. Okay. I know there's a lot going on. Customer's there. Don't pay attention to him. We're all doing everything we got to do. Speed that just a little bit. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Here we go. See, I see how I slid it in there. And I'm going up with the whole thing right there. The whole piece I'm going in there with. I'm just going to put it in. And remember how I said everything's prepped? Clips already in there. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to put the clips in there. I just had to grab the piece I needed, put that thing in there. Done deal. You know what I mean? Done deal. Easy peasy. Right? Same thing I'm going to do with the next coming side here too. Right? You're going to watch me there. Boom. Grab one slice. Watch here. That's where I am right there. Grab the second slice. Boom. Put that into the frame. Line it up. And once it's in that metal, it's like an inch thick maybe, or inch deep. It holds it pretty good. You're going to have to hold it in the middle to hold both pieces. You got to be careful to not hit the clips off. But it saves you so much time as opposed to have to grab one, grab the other, put it up, grab the frame, put it in, put the screw in, as opposed to boom, boom, bam. You know what I'm saying? Right? You do it, not this method. You go one, got to hold it. Someone maybe has to pass it, or you have it in between your legs or something. That's how I used to do it. I put it up. Then I got to play it around and grab the other one. Grab it, put it up, put the drill in. Too much work. Too much trouble. All right. This method is far easier. It's much faster. Then from there, I'm going to put my corner caps in. That's done. Right. Normally, we're all uniformed up. I actually tend not to wear my uniform too much. Get hot really easy, and the ones that we had purchased were just not the kind of material that agreed with me. So I tend to sometimes not wear it. I used to have sleeves that had the Assembly Experts logo on it, but I blew those ones out. So, oh well, I think they're all ripped up and shredded and stuff. Working too hard, you know what I mean? So now from there, we are putting on the roof. As you can see, we're approaching the completion stage. So, good thing to note. This doesn't have to be finished. Sorry, I'm pointing to the screen like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. This part here does not have to be finished for the roof to start. As long as one side is done, you can go complete this side, right? And how I mentioned earlier too that the roof supports are necessary for the roof, but not 100%. Jabril's already up here putting the roof up, putting the roof panels on, but there's no roof supports underneath there. It's okay. All it is to just essentially, it's important for the structure, but not for the build. You know what I mean? So it just makes it easier for the build. But it should go in prior. But again, if you're new to it, you're going to want them in there before. But if you're at the level we're at, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing to us. That's the benefit of being an assembly expert. It's what we do. Okay, it's what we do. Okay, it's what we do. It's what we do. Yes, I'm sorry. That's enough of that. So let's speed this back up a little bit there. We don't need to watch us work this slow. You guys catch all the details. There's Jeff going up there, putting on the roof supports. Now that there's nothing really else left to do. There's a couple small things like the roof cap here. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Top of that's finished. And now I'm going to go move on to the roof too. Just finishing up. It's putting in the curtains. This is looking good, guys. This is looking real good. Okay. Pretty much this is kind of rinse, wash, and repeat now at this point. Now what we like to do is we put the bottom screws in first, and then we go around with a second hand if we can't reach, because you got to put in a rubber, how do I describe it? It's like a rubber stopper. You put it in so the water doesn't leak through some of the holes. Do mind you, these things are not waterproof, just water resistant. So that's going to remove as much water as possible, but there's always going to be overspill or it's going to get through, but it is what it is. So we do the bottom first, just to get it off the ground and in. No need to do two people for this. One person job to put the bottom on. So see, Jabril's done that. Now he's going to move to another side. Let's see where he goes. I'm over here. He needs a little more space. It's probably going to come on this side. Doing this side or the one over there makes the most sense. Probably going to come towards us and maybe towards the hot tub over there. Yeah, there you go. So now this can happen. Oh, this one's gonna be easy. Pause that real quick. Yeah, there he is. I was about to say Jeff is gonna come right here and build from right on top up here, because it's most simple. It's like the deck that's leading to the customer's home, and it's perfect level. So no need for a ladder. It's great. Nice comfortable space to work from. There's Jabril putting on the other side. I wish I could tell you guys the timing for this right now, but without the speed, it's like I think there says 25 minutes, but that's not exact. I think the video was originally sped up when I had recorded this. This was earlier this season. This was like in, what was this? This was like maybe July. No. This must have been May, around May or early June, I believe. He's got a sweater on. Probably May. All right, so now we're on the inside here. I'm going to come around and do this now. This is something to pay attention to. What I'm doing right here, right now, in the manual for most gazebos, or all gazebos for a matter of fact, they tell you what to do. Oh, sorry, guys. Just want to make sure my mic is working good. What they tell you to do is to put this part in like way earlier in the build. Way earlier in the build. And when we first started, we were following that. But it turns out it can go in like very, very last step. And it's way better to do it like that because it interferes with the roof a lot. It's so frustrating and annoying to put that piece in. It's just like trim, to hold the roof more sturdy. You'll see it better when I'm doing the longer side. It interferes because it has like a small little groove to slide it into, and trying to slide it into the groove along with the side of the gazebo, because like these pillars here, they have to fit into there, and you can see that. To try and fit at the top and there, it's annoying, so annoying. It's not worth it. It's so unnecessary to put that in. Just listen to what I'm telling you. I'm not even gonna explain why or why not anymore. Just leave it to the end, okay? Leave that piece to the end. Just trust me on this. It's so much easier to put in. It's less headache. Look at that. Boom, boom. You won't believe how much of a headache that was before when we used to put that up. When you put the roof frame in, then we do that, and we're trying to fit it with the thing. Tips are flying off all over the place. It was so annoying. Oh, but now we got that sauce. You know what I'm saying? We got that sauce. So, now we're finishing up, putting in the mesh. We're getting really close to the completion here. Right? This is like final stages. Right now I'm putting in this, last trimmings. The corner caps on the outside are going on. I believe somebody's going to start doing these real soon, which is the center screws for the roof. We're going to see the rubber plugs go in along with the screws. Again, can't really be done with one person. Nice, you got some ridiculously long arms, which I do, and the tall fellow over here does. I got longer arms than I need for my body, so I can reach some funny places. Even though I'm like just 6 foot, my arms are like for a person maybe 6'2". It's kind of strange, but very very handy, very handy. I love it. Yeah. So, oh yeah, look, they already did that, right? That's all done there. Super super easy, guys. This is I'd say my favorite gazebo to build. I do these all year long if I could, every day. Give me 10 of them a day. Slap these things up, full team, 5 guys. You're doing these half an hour, 35 minutes a piece. The weather's good, maybe 45 minutes. Even at the end of the day, you're looking at a 50-minute build. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. These are the gazebos you want to do all day. Best money. It looks good. Customers are always happy with it. There's some gazebos you'll build that just don't look that great, and it's like, okay, you build for the customer, they're kind of like, oh, you can almost kind of see they're disappointed by the way it looks, And there's, it's funny about what's funny. Let me pause this. What's funny about the cheaper ones, like, sorry guys, I don't want to talk smack about the companies, but there's one called Hampton Bay. Worst gazebos to build in my opinion. Very difficult to build, and they don't look that great. You know. And honestly, we should raise the prices to build those just to deter people from buying them and just get the Sojak and the Portos, because the Hampton Bays are so awful to build. They're really heavy. They don't look that great, and everything is not agreeable with it. The screws aren't, none of the screws are ever magnetic. I was going to say screws aren't magnetic, but none of the screws are ever magnetic on these things. They're just not. But you have to use sockets for it typically, and it's not ideal. I want to use Allen bit, to be honest. Allen bits for these kind of stuff is ideal. Okay, it's where it's at. But as you can see, guys, it looks like we're just about done here. We got the last side, finishing up, checking all the screws all tightened up. Oh, good thing to note. Bring this back right here. Bop, bop. Boom. Oh, excuse me, right there. So we leave these loose. We do not tighten these all the way. I should have said that earlier, but he, getting used to still doing this a little bit, right? It'll get better as we go along. So when you're prepping these, leave them loose, leave them loose. Or even if you already tighten them and they're up there, just loosen it, just so you can manipulate them to get the screws in a little better when you're tying it all together. You'll see Shane adjust this here. Shane's a tall fellow over there. You'll see him adjust it. See how he's moving that there? He'll move the bar just to make sure everything lines up perfectly. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. And then, there you go. Muhammad's tightening up all the corners. He'll come and tighten, zip, zip. Make sure everything's all nice and solid. Look at that. All right, fantastic. All right, guys. I'm just going to stop it here. Yep, that's it. All right, that's it. That's a whole build. And I believe it is a Sojak. It looks a lot like a Sojak. So that's a full build of a Sojak 10x10 metal frame gazebo. As you can see, I mean, it didn't look that hard, did it? It's not. It really is not that difficult, guys. It's good money to make too, especially if you're doing 10x10s and 10x12s, right? We're charging around $565, $570, sometimes $625, depending on distance and all these kinds of things. It's good, good return, especially once you learn how to build it. You're doing it 2 to 3 guys. You can probably build these within an hour if you're working 2 or 3 guys. 2 guys, hour and 10. 3, probably about 55 minutes, maybe 50. For a full day's worth of work, it's worth it to have the 3. But if you're just 2 guys, 2 teams, doing your own thing, you could bang out plenty of these in the day, guys. Plenty. Now, obviously, not everyone's buying the same gazebos, but this one where we are, Ottawa, Ontario, this is the most popular one we see is the Sojag 10x10 or Sojag 10x12 and a Porto 10x12. They're identical models, just different names, slightly different trimmings, whatever. Clearly going to the same person to get them manufactured, in my opinion, or someone's copying somebody. So money is good if you're building it on your own too. If like you purchased it and you want to build it yourself, this is the best model to do. Price is competitive for them to buy them in the store, so just get this model. Even if you think you like the other one, just get this one. Okay, get this one. It's so much easier. But if you're like me and you're an assembler, feel free to ask any questions. If you want to see something built, I might have a video. I have a large repertoire of products that we have built and that we've put our hands on, and I got lots of videos and photos, and I know how to do these things. And if you're also interested in joining the assembly experts, don't be afraid to hit us up. You can either through YouTube or my email, and we can talk shop about getting involved in the Assembly Experts franchise. We give you everything from top to bottom how to be successful at doing this, and we will walk you through how to build, how marketing works, how we source customers, how we get sales, partnerships, and all these kinds of jazz. All right. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you learned something. Honestly, in the comment section, don't be afraid to throw out some criticisms. I'm all for it. Ways I can improve. I haven't done too much of the long form versions of this of the assembly stuff. It's just always been shorts. I saw a couple comments saying you should maybe try it long form, so I can maybe get some more direction and what's the word I'm looking for? Direction and advice on how to do this properly. So guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know how I did. Also, one thing to point out, when you're done these things, we do secure them to the ground. We use Tapcons if it's going into concrete, or we just use deck screws if it's going into a deck. Those seem to hold really good. In the case of a storm, in all honesty, the gazebo always fails before the anchoring does. Just the way it is. So make sure that if you're building it, don't leave it freestanding, please. In the last couple of years, we've had some really bad storms, even tornadoes, really weird for Ottawa in Canada, very weird, and it tore through people's backyards. So since then, we've been mandatory anchoring. If we can't anchor, we're not building. I'm not going to be held liable. And same thing for you guys who are independent assemblers. If you're a homeowner, you're building it yourself, or you're under the Assembly Experts franchise, same deal. We're not building it unless we can anchor. And two, make sure you leave them feeling nice with their gazebo. Curtains tied up. Make sure the thing looks pretty. You know what I mean? If there's any kind of little scuffs and scratches, try and paint it up a little bit with some quick little touch up. Bap. Nothing too crazy, just a little tap. Sometimes scuffs happen. They put a good amount of paint on these things, but when you're working on concrete and all those other kind of materials out there, sometimes scuffs happen. Sometimes pieces fall. Walk around with something like that. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I will be reading them. And thank you very much for stopping on by. Deuces.